All right, let's jump right in. We're going to be talking about one of the biggest topics out there right now, how artificial intelligence is completely changing the world of work and, what that actually means for your career. And let me be super clear right from the start. This isn't just another app or some new software update. No, the change that we are all living through is on a totally different level. It's more like a historical revolution. Think about it like this. The Industrial Revolution, that completely changed physical labor, right? And it reshaped all of society over many, many decades. Well, the AI revolution is doing the exact same thing, but for cognitive labor. The work we do with our minds. And here's the wild part. It's all happening in a tiny fraction of the time. So let's start by really digging into why AI isn't just another tool. It is a truly game-changing, revolutionary force. Okay, so here's a key idea you need to know. Economists call something like AI a general-purpose technology, or a GPT. And that's not just some fancy jargon. It means we're putting AI in the same category as electricity or the internet. I mean, these are technologies so big, so fundamental, that they changed everything. They touched every single part of the economy and opened up possibilities nobody could have even imagined at the time. So, if AI is a force as powerful as electricity, what happens when you just unleash it on the job market? Well, it kicks off something we can call the Great Job Reshuffle. And what's the biggest effect of that? The job market is polarizing. I mean, it is literally splitting right down the middle, creating this huge divide between different kinds of jobs. And here's what that split actually looks like in the real world. On one side, you have high-skilled jobs, think data scientists, AI trainers, that are just booming. And on the other end, low-skill service jobs like care work and delivery services are also growing. But that column in the middle, that is the danger zone. Jobs like bookkeepers, clerical roles, assembly line supervisors, these routine, predictable, middle-skilled jobs are getting hollowed out by automation. And as you can imagine, this creates massive ripple effects. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Our entire education system, which for a long time was built to train people for those stable, middle-skill jobs, is now under just immense pressure. It has to shift its whole focus away from static job training and towards things like adaptability, problem-solving, and creativity. So we've seen what's happening, but now we have to ask the really crucial question: why? What's the economic engine that's actually driving this whole reshuffle? Well, the main reason is a concept called skill-biased technological change. Now, I know it sounds a little academic, but the idea is actually really simple. New technology, like AI, isn't neutral. It actively picks winners and losers. It makes complex, creative skills way more valuable, while at the same time it makes routine, predictable work kind of obsolete. So you can kind of see the chain reaction here, right? It all starts when a powerful new technology like AI shows up. That tech then creates this bias for certain kinds of cognitive skills. And the result of that? Well, the job market gets completely reshuffled into that polarized state we were just talking about. Which, of course, brings us to the most practical question of all. I mean, if the skills that matter are always changing, how do you possibly stay relevant? In this new world, what is the single most future-proof skill you can have? And that question leads us to, honestly, the most important part of this entire conversation. Let's talk about what is truly your most valuable asset in this new economy. The answer comes from a really powerful idea in economics called human capital theory. And the core concept is this: your knowledge, your skills, your abilities, they're not just things you have. They're a form of capital. They're an asset. They're something you can actively invest in through learning and training to increase your own value and, of course, your earning potential. So, if your skills are your capital, what's the best investment strategy you can have in the age of AI? It's lifelong learning. And look, this isn't just a buzzword for, taking a class here and there. This is a fundamental shift in mindset. It's the constant self-motivated decision to keep learning. This is the absolute core strategy for building resilience in your career in a world that is always, always changing. Okay, so let's pull all of this together and map out a clear strategy for not just surviving, but actually thriving in this new AI era. And this is probably the most important point to really get. The story of AI isn't humans versus machines. It's actually the exact opposite. By taking over all the routine, predictable tasks, AI is making the skills that are uniquely human more valuable than they have ever been before. So what are those skills? They're things like creativity, critical thinking, social and emotional intelligence, adaptability, and complex problem solving. These are the abilities that AI just can't easily copy, and they are quickly becoming the new currency in our economy. So the final takeaway here is actually a really empowering one. This is not about playing defense, worrying about which job AI is going to take next. It's about playing offense. It's about proactively adapting and investing in those deeply human skills that AI can't touch, and in fact only makes more valuable. Because at the end of the day, what this all really means is that the future of work is the future of learning. The two are now completely inseparable. And that leaves us with one final, really important question. How will you invest in yourself?